Hey, welcome to a video about the Caro Kann. There's this pattern that's been coming up a lot in my Caro Kann games recently, and I actually just hit a new elo peak with it, so I want to talk about it a little bit. So here's the game. Now, I want to say I'm not trying to claim I'm some sort of like Caro Kann expert or anything, but I'm just talking about a pattern that I've gotten and it's led to a lot of winning end games for me. So it's not going to be more about memorizing moves. It's just going to be about memorizing this pattern that pops up in a lot of the games, at least around my level, which is about 16, 1700. Okay, so I'm going to be using my game as a model game. So it starts out pretty normal. And then the trick is they go for the advanced, and instead of playing the very common bishop f5, I actually go for c5 here. So they follow up with the very normal knight f3 move. And the key idea that I'm going to be talking about here is these central pawns. And a lot of times white will not defend them well enough, and then we can pick up an early pawn or extra two pawns very early, like within 10 moves out of the opening. And the key is going to be to like overload them, and I'll show you how. So I just developed a light squared bishop, attacking the defender of this pawn and then we'll just keep developing normally, and you'll see quickly how there can be a lot of pressure on these pawns. So they're just unpinning here, which is pretty normal. And what I do is I go in with the knights, and I'm just keep applying pressure onto these center pawns. And then here is where they start to get in trouble. So already off the bat, if I could somehow capture this bishop, then they're gonna have double middle pawns like this, and also weakening the king a lot. And that's the idea that I'm gonna try to get into here. So I open up the path for the bishop, but I'm also opening the square for the knight to allow it to hop into here and apply even more pressure there. And they just castle. And then what I do is I place the knight here, just wanting to go right here, and then get a double attack. And a lot of lines you can even bring the queen out, double attacking like this. So they bring the knight out, and then I go here, and already you can see it applies a lot of pressure into here. That'll double up their pawns if I take that and they have to recapture. It's also applying a lot of pressure here. So a lot of times white will go c3 here and actually, trying to defend this middle pawn. And in those lines, what I do is I always take. If I ever see the triple lined up like that, I pretty much always take on d4 here. And that's something key to remember. But here they actually make a mistake, and this is a 1700, making a mistake 9 moves in. So pause the video, see if you can see why it's a mistake, and then I'll show you. So this is a mistake because of this key idea. And this is what I talked about a few moves ago, how if I could somehow capture the dark squared bishop, then they'd have to have these double isolated pawns in the middle and weakening the king. So they have to take back, and then I just capture with the bishop and developing at the same time, which is pretty good. So one key idea with this move also is that it applies pressure onto here, and if you look, there's actually no real way for white to defend that. What they have to do is they have to bring the knight over. I mean, if they brought the king over, then you just go queen b6, applying even more pressure down here and attacking that at the same time. So what white does is they bring the knight over, and then you can see I can already win another pawn. So I just take the bishop, they take back, then I take the knight, they take back, and then I win this pawn here. I didn't even do this the best way, but I'm still winning one by 1.4 already. So I'm already pawn up, and then this leads to some very easy endgames for me. You can see I have the very active Archer bishop there in check, so they have to move it over. Then I just finish my development. They attack me, so I have to drop it back. And then they make some inaccurate moves at castle, just finishing my development, connecting the rooks, ready to bring them into, files that I can attack with. They go for some sort of attack, but I just kick it right back out. Then I bring the rook over, just putting more pressure, and it's an open file for me to attack on. So I start to set up an idea here. I still have a lot of pressure going, and I just double up the rooks on the open file, and then a tactic is going to pop up here pretty soon. So I go queen here, setting up my idea. See if you can find what I'm going for. So they fall for my trap. They make a mistake. They're trying to kick my rook out. What I do is I just take the rook. Great move. And they resign here. And the reason they resigned is because if they take my queen, then I'm just taking their rook. And then you can see it's a back rank. So they have to drop the queen back, and then I'm just taking the queen. And if they take here, then I'm just taking their queen. So this is a structure that I'm very familiar with, and it all started with the pawn I was able to win and just like kind of destroy their center. If you look, like I have this nice pawn chain here, and they just have not that much to work with, so it's really easy for me to play this, make plans. They didn't really know what to do. And I get this position a lot, and it's gotten me a lot of wins, and it got me my peak elo the other day. Alright, so if you're still watching, you're a real one, and I thank you for that. If you could please drop a like and subscribe to me, I really appreciate it, and can help my channel grow and give me more motivation to make videos. So this is a just a very common pattern in the Caro Kann that's gotten me a lot of wins, and it's the key idea is just these double pawns here and how weak they can become. And a lot of times they'll go c3, and then I'll just take, and then I'll have to take back, and they have these just pawns just sitting there, and you can just keep putting pressure onto them. So that's the key idea that I was talking about, and I want you to look out for it in your games. I tried to explain this to like someone that's like learning like me. Like a year and a half ago, I was only about 600 rapid. I'm not like some person that was really good as a kid or anything. Like I hopped on chess.com, and I was like a 600, and then I just slowly just climbed up. I mean, I played chess as a little bit of a kid, but I had no idea what I was doing like a year and a half ago, and I just, slowly kept improving, and I pretty much only played the Caro Kann, and that got me really far. So if you've never tried the Caro Kann, you should try it. It's pretty good. And that's all I have for this one. So thank you for watching.